In order to import information into an accounting program like file, and in fact any software for that matter, the best thing to do if you're using CSV files is to create an export of a CSV file so you know exactly what your imported CSV file should look like. Because when you're importing information into accounting software, it is critical if you're using CSV import procedures that the data that you have is set up exactly as it should be. Otherwise you get errors, and if you're importing a lot of transactions you get errors, it's worse than nothing. Getting rid of the errors is easy if you make sure you're clear on the type of data you want to import in terms of its format. Now there's a good way of doing this, and that is you go into your accounts and you create a couple of key transactions. And in this case we have accounting fees and legal fees. We've only got two transactions in this file, and just quickly looking at the accounting fee transaction, it is $550 including GST, and we've got XYZ accounting. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to export this information to a CSV file. You do that by going into File, Export Data, and in Mob you're selecting Spend Money. Now a couple of issues about the export process, and we're now looking at what should be done and how it should be set up. I suggest you go for comma separated. You have a header record. Of course you then have to have the dates of the periods you want to export. So let's continue on. Now there are some issues here in Mob, and again you'll have to look at the software you use. But in regards to Mob, there are critical fields that you have to have. You should select the check account, which is the actual number of the check account. For those using Mob, like 11110, you should have a date. You don't need the check number because that's probably not going to be able to import that information from your bank statement because it won't appear on its own. It's mixed up with other information. You need to select the company last name. Not that you use this, but it's a field you have to have. I'll just bring this in a little bit closer so it's a little bit clearer. You need to select the MIMO field because effectively that is the field that will contain the information in the bank statement. For example, all the details, if you bought something from a petrol station, it'll have the name of the company, etc. You have to have, and these are compulsory fields, the allocation account, the exclusive tax amount, the inclusive tax amount, the tax code, and the tax amount. So in total you have 9 fields. Now when you bring your data down from the bank and load it into the CSV file, we're also going to have 9 fields. So let's just export that, and we'll call it Spend Money Export, and we will then do a save. Now what we're now going to do is go and open that Spend Money Export CSV file and have a look at how it presents and how the formatting should be.